And one.
Hello there. This is our only warning letting you know all kids now should go to bed. This is your show on drugs. Let's go.
What the fuck is up, internets? Hey guys, what did we do last night? Tell them.
Hello, our way to the movies. AMC 24, Duval County.
Jesus Christ. Damn, it went from quiet to everybody talking all at once.
It's called preparation. H.
So, what did you even say? I didn't even hear it.
It's called preparation. H.
We went and saw.
Cocaine Bear.
Yes.
I feel like that sounded to be closer to you. All right.
I said I got a lot of stuff left on my nose.
Well, hey, that's where the phrase powder your nose came from. So here we are.
So tonight we're going to be talking about Cocaine Bear, and we have a special guest coming up in the episode who we talked to a few weeks ago, Kahyun Kim. She was in Cocaine Bear. That's why we talked to her. That's why her segment is going to play in tonight's episode.
She's a tomcat.
Yes, she is.
She is down for on-screen nudity.
I let her give me CPR.
All right, let's run the intro and then see what happens. Before we get into Cocaine Bear, here is everything that you need to know about Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Bear, which was actually the working title of the film during production, but the producers couldn't think of anything else, so it happened to stick. It is a story about an oddball group of cops, criminals, tourists, and teens as they converge on a Georgia forest where a huge black bear goes on a murderous rampage after ingesting cocaine. It's inspired by actual events. There's the real story. This took place in 1985. A corrupt Kentucky cop and a lawyer turned drug smuggler flew in a smuggling run, dumping packages of cocaine over Georgia after attempting to escape with nearly 80 pounds of it strapped to his body. The parachute malfunctioned and he fell to his death in Knoxville, Tennessee. 40 kilos of the thrown packages landed in the national forest and were consumed by a black bear who overdosed, most likely within minutes, dying from cerebral hemorrhage and respiratory and heart failure. He ate $20 million. That's $55 million in today's money worth of cocaine.
Damn,
Cocaine Bear was directed by Elizabeth Banks. This is Banks' third directorial effort, with the exception of two short films that she did beforehand and a segment in movie 43. She did 2015's Pitch Perfect 2. That was her first film. She followed that up with 2019 Charlie's Angels. And then, of course, Cocaine Bear. Most will recognize her on the other side of the camera. She's been in Wet Hot American Summer, which fans of that film will notice immediately that she paid tribute to. That was the first time she was on screen, and Cocaine Bear opens up with Jefferson Starship's Jane, which also opens up Wet Hot American Summer. Scrubs, the Hunger Games films, the Pitch Perfects, and a whole lot more. It was written by Jimmy Warden. There's Jimmy right there. Jimmy has one credit before Cocaine Bear and one forthcoming. He wrote 2020's The Babysitter, Killer Queen, and a film called Borderline is currently in post-production, which he wrote and directed. The film stars, it reunites Kerry Russell, Matthew Rhys, and the great Margot Martindale from The Americans. Margot steals every scene that she's in. It's also got Brooklyn Prince and Kristen Convery as the kids, who were fucking awesome in it. Jesse Tyler Ferguson of Modern Family climbs a tree faster than I've ever seen someone climb a tree before. Scott Seiss, the hilarious Instagram, TikTok for the kids star. Rest in peace to Ray Liotta in his final role. Liotta passed away on May 6, 2022, and this was just 2 weeks after coming in to do the ADR on Cocaine Bear. And of course, Kahyun Kim will be joining us later on in the show, and she's in one of my favorite scenes in the movie. Jesus Christ. So that brings us to favorite scenes.
I can't even get there because when I heard, first off, thank you for that great breakdown. But you know, it just shows the CIA has been at work for so long. And I'm just going to jump out to the conspiracy theory here. I mean, listen, there's polar bears, there's teddy bears, there's brown bears, there's koala bears. And earlier before we started, I learned in the LGBTQ plus community, there's another type of bear. But with all that being said, they dropped cocaine from the sky, and the only bear that died was a black bear. Hey, and during Black History Month, I rest my case. CIA wins again.
Are we gonna do spoilers on this?
Cocaine, unless you try it, there's no spoiler.
That's true.
All right.
That's true.
So that's a no.
That's a go.
I don't know, actually. I don't know what the answer was.
All right. I think before we do, I know rightfully so, before we do favorite scenes, we got to start with what, Dave? Favorite lines. Take us away, Dave.
I mean, I watched it in the movie theater and I have no fucking notebook on me, and we were on a handful of drugs. So ask me what favorite lines you want. I have no idea about the lines. I could think like of generalities.
Just for our general studio audience, when you say we, are you speaking French? Because
we.
Yes. Okay, I got you. Okay, I got you.
Moi. Pardon. Okay, I got one line that I could think of that comes to mind, which has to be great because I remembered it after everything I just said. When they're in the ambulance and they're running away from the bear, Scott I keep saying Scott Cease. He's in the back with Margot Martindale, who by this time we know has a reputation to not be great with the gun. She's firing it off, and he's like, stop shooting. Then he sees the bear.
Yeah.
Shoot, go.
That's just a classic fun popcorn movie line.
For me, it was Ice Cube's son when the standoff at the end, he was like, truce to see if the bear's dead. Like there's this intense standoff going on from high ground to low ground with the 9mm to 45 is going on. His fingers have been blowed off. Can we get that green thing right there? I'll do that. I'll do it. That never happens. Yeah, great.
That wasn't me, was it?
Let's check those comments. All right, James MCD. He popped in a while ago. We need to catch up. Only you can prevent drugged up animal attacks. Very excited to hear y'all's thoughts on this. Dude, I hope we don't let you down. Do you think they had to get permission from the bear's family before making the movie?
James, stop trolling.
Barely.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Favorite line, I am Henry and I am tired.
Oh, God, that was funny.
Yes. Really? Who said that?
The little boy.
Henry.
Oh yeah,
I guess so. Henry.
Oh,
okay.
and shout out to that. And since we're on that, and I made a note in my mind when we were watching it the other night to say that, and I always joke and make fun of you, but I'm not going to do it tonight, Dave. I know you haven't seen Goodfellas, but again, we did say Ray Liotta died in this film, and there was a callback, a direct connection to it. His name, the boy's name in the movie was Henry, and then his name was Ray. It's something. His name and the boy's name played off his name in real life. From in a tribute to Goodfellas, they called him Henry, and the other one said something at Ray at one point in time. So I did pick up on that.
Okay, I don't know enough about any of that.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
Well, my favorite line was actually about I forgot his name in the movie, but Ice Cube's son O'Shea when he got his fingers blown off.
Yeah,
and he's rapping.
Oh, that was Ice Cube's son.
Yeah, I said that 4 minutes ago. I literally. Oh, I get it.
No.
I got to be a beach chest for you to hear me now.
No, like 4 or 5 times throughout the movie, I thought, man, he is giving me some serious Ice Cube vibes, but I didn't want to say it and sound racist.
Ice Cube sped him out about 27 years ago.
Well, that makes sense. He was giving me some Ice Cube vibes.
Yeah, definitely.
Or crushed ice.
I think not.
when he's wrapping his fingers, and he's like, "Damn, fucking Jersey, that Jersey, bro." Like,
what was funny about that is you're right. But what did he say after that? How the fuck did he hit both fingers with one bullet?
Like,
yeah, that was good. That was pretty good. That was old Aaron Holiday.
This is what I love about
How
it.
do you do that? Like, you got shot.
While we're talking about the film, what I really loved about it was that they didn't overly use the bear, because if you know about the real story, the bear died within 10 to 15 minutes because he consumed all of the cocaine at one time. In this movie, they stretched it out or stepped on it. I'm sorry, I wouldn't know anything about that. They did what they had to do, and it went. And I love that we only saw the bear probably for maybe 35-40% of the film, and that kept me anticipating when I did see the bear.
Yeah, and also in the actual story, they don't know if there was any casualties from the bear, so they don't know.
Yes, it's internal organs. There's about 14 of them.
Well, in the movie, but not in real life.
It would have died.
I would argue that they didn't show the bear because of like they just didn't have the money to show it that many times. So they
Well,
just
if you want
got
to see this in a
creative.
mall right now in Tennessee, literally, I'm not being funny. You can literally go see the real cocaine bear. They
Yeah, no,
hypodermed
I'm,
it.
sorry,
Yeah,
I'm talking
they
about like
taxidermy
I
it.
noticed that they were really selective with when they showed blood and gore. Like
Oh,
they were
yeah.
like, all right, we only have this much money for special effects and blood and gore effects, so we're on these ones we're gonna do cutaways, and on these ones we're gonna fucking show everything.
Well, they spent a lot of it on our guy from Modern Family in that tree.
Oh, see, no, that was one where they skimped because the ADR made you feel like you were seeing, but they never even showed the bear once he. That was one of my favorite parts because I've never seen when that bear sniffed the cocaine in Jesse Tyler Ferguson's on the cross and went down that tree and up the other one. By the time he got to Jesse Tyler Ferguson, you just see Jesse Tyler Ferguson like hanging upside down. You never even see the bear. You just hear screaming, and you hear like the kid like saying, "Oh my God, that's terrible." But we never see the bear after that.
When I was watching that, what I thought was, oh shit, I got to redo my bear list now. Remember, I had a bear list. I had the bear.
I don't remember you had a bear list.
I had a bear from Revenant. I had the bear from Revenant. I had the bear from Jackie Moon and Tropic Thunder.
What is with you an animal list? You have a duck list too. Now that I think about it, you have a ducks I'd like to fuck list.
I do. Ducks like to fuck, man. Hook up.
I just it's weird. It's weird. As
you don't
an
remember
adult.
Scrooge McFuck?
No, Annie. I'm sorry. This has to be
Gizmo fuck.
As an adult human man, you have. It's weird to have one animal list.
Rescue if you're in danger. All right. Wait, okay. All right. Here we go.
So where would Cocaine Bear rank on your bear list now?
As far as the bears?
Well,
oh
yeah,
no, he's just an honorable mention. He's just an honorable. I'm still scared of that bear from Prey. That bear is really scary. Invisible blood bear can kill you.
Exciting. I don't have.
We're gonna need a little bit more than that because
no,
we know you're sober because you didn't put in all caps. But thank you.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's somebody for Kahyun Kim. I'm going to take a leap here and
Konnichiwa.
I'm going to. James says I'd like to imagine.
That's a Nick Cage. We don't say that's a Nick Cage.
I like to imagine Nick Cage did the motion capture for the bear. Just a funny idea. That does make the movie, and I could see him doing that. And
or either John Travolta, either one. It's a face-off.
Yeah, I would say going back to the song in the opening. I would love because Elizabeth Banks is like in with all of the Wet Hot American Summer crew. Wet Hot American Summer is all about like a summer camp gone awry, and it would be so fucking awesome to do a Cocaine Bear Wet Hot American Summer crossover movie where the Cocaine Bear just rampages on a summer camp.
You just described my summer when I was 13 watching Gilbert Gottfried USA Up All Night. Every night was the movie you just described. I'm going to end that story there.
That's why it needs to happen right now. All right, we got that one. What's your favorite scene in the movie?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I had to tell somebody this at fake work earlier today or the other day. I really had to talk. Oh yes, it pays the bills, but it doesn't give me thrills. I was like, yo, this really took me back to the 80s because when the 80s they didn't give a fuck. It was like child labor laws didn't exist with movies. You can do whatever. I saw two pre-teenagers, rated R is back, baby. I saw two kids do coke and put it in their mouth.
Yeah,
and the internet didn't cancel this movie yet. Hallelujah. Yeah, they did it. It was about 3 grams worth. They took one of them switchblade knives. They cut. She's like, knife me. I'm like, they ain't finna do it. They ain't finna do it. And I'm like, God dang, I'm from the north side. I've seen a lot of cocaine, allegedly, just playing kids. And I was like, damn, she really put all that in her mouth. Hey, good for you, girl. Good for you.
Yeah, those kids killed
and the little boy.
And then afterwards, when the boy is talking about, oh, did you notice this was the 80s? Because you notice that the Margot Martindale, when the boy's up in the tree, he's like, now come down here, little girl, because he has long hair. And back in the day, it was like boys blue, girls pink, short hair, long hair.
You mean the George Carlin when things were simpler?
The gender definitions were very, very. So he had long hair, so it was very subtle. Like she just looked up and said, "Come down here,
and
little
that's
girl."
why I want the word identify back because we were labeled. We had identifications. They gave it to us.
She did it so subtly that I thought that I was just too fucked up in the beginning of the story that I missed something. Like, oh man, I thought it was a boy. Oh, it is a boy. God damn it.
Well, listen, all I know is they did a really good job of not making fun of it. They tackled the subject creatively, and I liked it, and they moved on. So I did. I
did not think they were going to put the cocaine in the mouth and actually do it. and then
Yeah,
and really lean into
neither
it.
did
And I sure as fuck didn't think they were going to do it twice, and then have the other kid try it out too, and then lean into it like okay, they did it, they're going to move on. But that
Nah,
became
they
like a
stuck
whole
on that for a
subplot
while,
in the movie. Now
man.
I'm wondering if these kids are okay. Like that one kid obviously is like he's jonesing already for
Yeah.
another. Like
Yeah.
where can I get
But
more?
that's what made that beautiful scene between him and his mom when she's trying to tell him that's not so subtly, I've done cocaine. I'm your parent. I'll find out. That's what she's saying. That was a good conversation.
James says the kids doing cocaine was one of the most unhinged things I've seen in a while. Surprised they got away with it. I'm surprised
James,
too.
this
And I'm
happened
so
every day in the
happy.
80s. I promise it happened in every movie from the 80s.
No, but it doesn't happen in movies.
Yeah, it did in the 80s.
Name one movie where
Fresh.
kids are. Okay.
I rest my case. Happy Black History Month, kids.
So you got that right in the nick of time.
What did you say to me?
I did.
What'd
that
you call
on
me?
purpose. I did that.
I'll put you in the cage.
I gave that to you.
All right. I don't take it. I give.
Trying to think. Oh, my favorite scene is the I agree. The honorable mention for me is the kids doing cocaine. My favorite scene is with our Kahyun Kim. That scene where you get where pretty much from the moment that when they see the bear in there and they run out and they're in that van, that chase in the paramedics van.
If you're going to accuse her of going head first, that's how you accuse her of going head first.
Is you got well, first of all, you got Margot Martindale in the back blasting off like crazy.
She looks like a vanilla Slimer.
And then
pull her back up.
You have the epic bear jump into the thing, and then when I don't think I have. All right, I do have the picture of when the bear comes into the front seat and Kahyun Kim sees it for the first time. Right, she does that scream.
That's the money shot.
That was like perfect. And then the cherry on top is the whole thing is happening to Depeche Mode. Just can't get enough, which is like a perfect use of that song. And I had in my notes that I thought that scene
really,
was
Dave, where are they?
Right here.
All right.
Where are your notes at? I see Shane on there. I don't remember anything about Shane in this movie. The fuck are you?
Why don't you mind your fucking business, peripheral guy?
No, but I thought like the when they're all in the van screaming at each other, you got Margot Martindale screaming at Scott Cease, screaming at Kahyun Kim, and it reminded me of like a scene that just got ripped right out of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It was just they were just angry and mean to each other for no reason.
Just the essence of it, what I really liked about this, it reminds me of simpler times when films didn't take themselves too seriously. The title tells you what this is. It's not a cinematic masterpiece. This is not.
I see what your favorite scene was, though.
Huh?
What's your favorite scene?
I told you.
Okay.
My favorite scene altogether.
Yeah. I feel like you're launching into a review there.
No, not yet.
Okay.
I feel like I was interrupted, and that Webster would define as true. Let me see. As far as favorite scene, there was a lot of things that happened in that film, but I'll just say this: it's really those kids and what they did with that cocaine. And I'm not going to lie to you, because again, I haven't been shocked in the film in so long. Horror movies don't scare me. Adventures don't scare me. I'm tired of seeing the Fast and Furious go to space. How many times Freddy should be dead by now? How fast can you fucking go, guys? It's not about family anymore. Have a fucking divorce. Have some incest at this point.
This movie made me gasp 2 times. The kids were the first time. Can you guess the second time? Because you guys,
when that bear came back to life,
we all gasped. No, it was with Margot Martindale.
What'd she do?
Oh, bro!
Like, shit! Now I did not see that coming.
Nobody saw that shit coming.
Like that came out of it, and the fact that they were so okay with that it was perfect. It's Mayberry. It was so perfect.
I have a theory. I don't think she's supposed to have that gun.
Park rangers shouldn't have guns. They're supposed to have bear mace and bull mace.
Because she kept harping on about how I can have a gun. I don't think she could, and every time she used it just.
A park ranger, you have
to
defend yourself out there against.
If she's not going to get the cock, at least give her the Glock, man. You heard
it. James said a favorite scene is any scene with Alden Ehrenreich and the teenager.
I'm going to let you have that, James. Oh, can they see the Google search?
No.
I was going to say, I hope you cleared your cache.
Oh yeah, dude! Alden Ehrenreich was very good.
We were laughing at him.
He had me laughing because he was.
This is your SMC.
He was in the middle of this like really surface level like slapstick horror. You have this guy having an existential breakdown in every scene that he's in.
That's what you're talking about. He does. See, you see, I see what you're talking about. I saw you get all wooed in the background. I'm going E Hollywood right now. Don't buy into that shit. What do you mean by that, Dave?
What do I mean by that?
Yeah.
I mean that in this film that is like has all of the tropes of like 80s horror slapstick comedy, you have this guy that doesn't know that he's in that genre. This guy is acting as if he's in an independent drama, which is fucking hilarious when you throw that within the context of Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, but what do you mean by that?
Man, I feel like I'm in a job interview right now. I've explained myself well enough.
Yeah, you couldn't wait for March 1st, could you? Thanks, Case. Let's get going.
Kahyun is so cool.
She is
so cool. I agree.
In real life too.
We're gonna get to Kahyun in just a little bit.
And before we get there, guys, if you want to Google search her real quick, and ladies too, hey, everybody have a little fun.
Yeah, and this Thursday we're actually going to be putting our full interview with her, and there'll be a link in the description for that where you can go rate her.
It won't be a 6-inch; it'll be a foot-long interview. Eat fresh. No, Jared. You say it way worse.
Who was your scene stealer?
Can I go?
Did you even say your favorite scene?
No, I didn't. I was wondering if somebody was going to fucking notice.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Speak up.
Well, you guys are just having a ball.
An 8-ball.
Tarantino's laughing from Sarasota.
He's supposed to be here now. Funny.
My favorite scene was
when James said they did Kahyun kind of dirty with that ambulance chase. She didn't even get the honor of being mauled by the bear. The windshield.
Whoa.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, the windshield took her out.
That
that was awesome though. That whole.
Too.
That's why that scene. I love that scene. I'm sorry. I'm gonna piggyback on why I love that scene because James brought it up. I like the fact that it's everything. It's so much happening, and like not that scene is probably like 90 seconds from the time they leave to the time she flies out the window, and you get like Scott Cease's murder was fantastic. Yeah. Like the way he's decrepit, like all like bent out of shape, literally.
Very dark, man. And
Kahyun Kim just made that scene, not just because she was on the show either. She just made that scene because she screamed so well and sold the horror. Anyway, Dominic Graham's here.
Miss Jaja Lepre, could you walk behind the camera and let Dominic in?
Can I do my favorite scene?
Tino said, "Laugh it out loud, love y'all boys, TTFT show." Yes, favorite scene, please.
Favorite scene is Miss Margot sliding on that fucking gurney.
Oh, I love that.
Oh my God.
I love that. I love that.
I forgot about
she
that.
deserved all of that. I felt like that was for every Karen in the world. Every inch of that felt good.
I'll put her on the gurney before it all went to shit, but that's kind of it. That's happening within the scene that's all within the chaos.
In fairness, let everybody be honest. Raise your hand if your mind is so dark that you already knew when they strapped her in that she's gonna get fucked up in that gurney.
I didn't see that coming. I definitely didn't see her skidding across the road face down. All I know is it was beautiful, and then the fact that they did a callback to it at the end when the kids are walking home and they had to walk
that was
by
beautiful. That was beautiful.
Yeah, and it's just like that classic, the car accident. Like
what I think I learned from this, and guys correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe it was movie magic. Does embalming fluid have a hint of cocaine in it? Because I could have swore I saw that bear broke his neck and he came back to life from a cloud of dust at the end.
Doesn't it have formaldehyde, which is like
I wouldn't know, Annie. Just the facts, ma'am. Just the facts. Clay, Bill Clay.
All right, so who do you think was the
scene stealer?
Yeah,
my scene stealer was Little Henry. That little boy had the fucking coolest little comebacks, and he was just sick with it. I loved him. He was funny as shit.
Yeah, there were times where I'm not gonna rag on a kid but he was awesome. There were just a few times like it was that inescapable, like you're low hanging fruit for a kid for an easy punchline. But yeah, for the most part, like 99% of the time, he was awesome.
Yeah,
he was hilarious.
Yeah, he was.
Who's your scene
Got me
stealer,
when you said he
Royal?
was tired.
I'm gonna break a rule I normally don't do, but I'll break my rule tonight because she was right with her scene stealer. She was 100% right because that kid definitely deserved it. Because you know my rules and my status, my qualifications, which are he had to act with several different characters, adult and kid, and a green
And
screen with the
bear.
bear, correct, and he very correct. And his dialogue wasn't just punchline or slapstick, so he does deserve it, and she is 100% right. But
Definitely.
I'm personally gonna give it to Ray Liotta because it's the last time I'll even be able to even have him nominated for one. What he did within the time he was given, I don't know the health he was in. Nowadays we have more information. Like 20-30 years ago, we wouldn't have known Chadwick Boseman were sick, or when these actors died, we think we have them forever. We knew Ray Liotta was sick and we didn't know when his last role was coming, but we knew this was it. So when you see it, and he doesn't lack for anything. I mean, it's not like they were catering to him or putting him here so he's in this good spot. No, he still brought it, and that's all you can ask for. Like athletes ask to down the field, soldiers want to die on, out in the war, and actors want to have one last good role on the screen.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And this was a good movie for him to say goodbye to.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Just soldiers don't want to die in the war.
I beg to differ, sir. This is a movie show. You ever heard of a guy called Lieutenant Dan?
Yeah.
Thanks, guy. I rest my case again. Oh, I am on fire. I'll take it. I'll have a shot.
I give James in the comments, he agrees with you, Annie. His scene stealer was also Henry.
Yeah.
Kid was having a blast and had some great lines.
Yeah.
Lines,
yes. Can I go back and say something though? Because when we were talking about Jesse Tyler Ferguson hanging upside down, I want to jump back to that because you had said something at that moment in the theater and it cracked me the fuck up. You were like, he was too high to feel that he was getting ate by that damn bear.
It's 100% correct because not only was he experiencing so much cocaine, he was experiencing cocaine for the first time.
That was true.
Like in most movies, I always laugh, and I don't remember the movies. Some movie like, man, I've been chasing that horse, baby. I've been chasing that horse, and I'm like, well, oh shit. So he has over too much cocaine, and the first time, and there's a bear. You're finna shut down your body. He didn't feel anything.
He didn't feel it.
Yeah, he actually sounded. Yeah, at times. Well, after you said that, when I went back to her, it was like it sounded more like pleasure owls. Like oh.
I mean, he wore a lot of flannel. I wouldn't be surprised if he's into bestiality.
I love Jesse Tyler.
I mean, you just recently found out that he's into men.
Yeah, that's my guy from Modern Family. I didn't know they did. No, shout out to the costume department on the makeup, and like I say, it was very believable. It's an actor's dream to be famous and then be lost into a character to where people don't recognize you, aka Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah. My honorable mention is Margot Martindale. I like her in Justified and The American. She's awesome in everything that she's in. And in this, it's like every scene she was in, she stole. She's hilarious. She had that little like crush going on Jesse Tyler Ferguson, but it was only one way, but you didn't know that it was one way until you met Jesse Tyler Ferguson, and it became way too apparent for her not to realize.
She gave you the 80s feel again, remember? Smoking a cigarette, spraying the perfume, attracted to this guy that's clearly not into girls, but he's actually more into animals than her. And she gave a performance to where, and again, she knows these kids. So she's basically, Jade, she is one park ranger away from starting to talk to those kids that are stealing candy from her in that store. That's my theory. Royal over and out.
Yeah. Oh, she's just
too thirsty to realize what was going on in the store.
She's just funny. She reminds me of my grandfather. And my grandfather is like a take no. Now
that's an all-inclusive comment for your ass.
Yeah. It's there's like 3 or 4 people that's gonna appreciate that. She's like Bill. You know.
I'm really quick before we move on, because you said that, to quote that great show Southside out there, you ain't half the man your father was. And he was talking to his wife. That's what I'm talking about. Hello.
My scene stealer, and again, not because she's a guest on tonight's episode, is Kahyun Kim.
Liar.
She was just fucking awesome. And especially in the moment that she in the small amount of time that she had.
She did. She made the most.
She killed it. And I would give her the scene stealer purely for that moment when the bear comes flying up to the front and then gets pulled back to reveal her face.
She gives.
That look, the second, the scream. You can't teach that. No. You can't teach that. No. You're only somebody that is getting into a school that has a 17% acceptance rate can pull off something like that. And that is Kahyun Kim. She's coming up later. Aren't you excited?
That's actually a tagline for her. Hey, keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going.
I had nothing else.
No, catch up, man.
I just put it down. What are you trying to do?
You'll keep. That's why somebody's laughing, because they know what I did. Tarantino called it. Thanks, guy. Thanks, guy. This guy over here.
What's next?
What is next?
What's
coming up? What's coming up next? Man?
Oh,
The
shit.
interview.
That would have been the perfect segue. Up next is Kahyun Kim.
Thank you, guys. All right, if you didn't do your Google search, you guys.
God damn it.
Listen, this young lady, she's really a good actress. She killed it with her time, guys. Please go see her Cocaine Bear. She's going to do a lot of great things. Come check her out. Her interview with us. 3, 2, roll that beautiful bead footage now. Played Beth in the film. You're a paramedic, right? Can you tell us a little bit about the character without spoiling anything? And what was the audition process like? And did you have to do any bumps?
Well, okay. I just have to say I did do bumps in Daddy. I just have to let everybody know I do love cocaine fake.
I mean, I heard Alan Cummins stuff is fire too. Yeah.
I love Alan. I just needed to say that. I also
sniff it if you got it.
Yeah, I love Alan. He's amazing. What a legend! Like truly a legend. Yeah, Cocaine Bear. I'm just so excited. I'm also so excited because like this is a movie. When I got cast in it, I was like, man, this is a movie that I would fucking talk about for hours and hours, even if I wasn't in it. Like, This is the movie I want to be in. Like, my favorite film of all time, like, and I truly mean this, I'm not even joking, is 22 Jump Street, not 21 Jump Street. The next movie, 22 Jump Street, with Jonah Hill, and he does the slam poetry, that one is my favorite. And so, you know, when I was working with, you know, when I got cast and I saw everybody attached to it and read the script and, you know, I was just like, fuck, this is it. Like, this is what I've dreamed of, like being a part of. Like when, you know, people say, what kind of movie do you want to do? This was it. So
I love your honesty. Some people want to dream to work with Scorsese. Some people dream to be a Cocaine Bear. I'm in your squad. Let's go.
It is. It's one of those movies. The title, like, the trailer is awesome. The cast is awesome. It looks fantastic, but you didn't need any of that to get me on board. Like, I heard Cocaine Bear. I'm like, yeah, sign me up.
I'm so psyched. So I'm just so excited. I'm totally there with you. I am like a fan of the movie, even though I'm in it. Like, I'm just so excited to see it. But yeah, I mean, I taped for it, honestly, once. And, you know, I talked to the casting director. She also cast me in American Gods. And, you know, she said, if you have any questions, to all the actors, I think, who were auditioning, if you have any, you know, questions or you want to talk, like, she was like, you know, let's talk. So I was like, okay. So, and she's amazing. Like Deb, the cast of Deb is just so amazing. And she is really an actor's advocate. Like, and I know people say that a lot about a lot of people, but she really like is such a supporter, and she has been amazing in American Gods for me and also in Cocaine Bear. But yeah, she, you know, gave me some like, you know, notes about like, you know, the movie, and like, you know, before I read it and I read it, and it was everything and more I expected. And I kind of created my own like world. Like, you know, I made her Korean because obviously I'm Korean. I improv some lines in Korean, and, you know, and then just like really try to be honest in the moment and, you know, just have fun. I think that's really what it was. And I think what I did really try to do in this tape was like, just try to bring myself in.
You brought up being cast in American Gods, and then she casting you for this, and then of course even working with Elizabeth Banks. Let me ask you this here: can you speak to, is that just to the relationship and the rapport you built with her, but can you more so speak to, that's where it comes to being a professional on set and people remembering what you do no matter how long you've been there?
Oh, I don't know, actually. Like, I hope that, like, you know, somebody said like every audition is a coin in the bank. Like, you know, like you do a good job, it might not be, you know, I think, well, that's one of my professors, what they said. So hopefully, I think if you keep up the good job and you're like a nice person to work with, hopefully, like, you know, that will continue. So I think it's both. Like, I'm sure like it's also like I've you know, I've done American Gods, so I'm sure Deb remembered me from that, and she knows me from that. And I also had to audition, so like that was a new relationship with Elizabeth. So I think it's like new, and like, you know, also like I think it's also important to do your job well. And you know, hopefully always work on it. You know, that's what I try to do. Sometimes I get lazy, but hopefully like that's the one goal I would like to have, to always work on it and not be lazy.
Did you know during the audition process or when you went for the role that the production was going to be in Ireland?
I think I did. I did.
Okay.
I don't quite remember, but I think I did.
When I saw that the production took place in Ireland, the first thing I thought was like, oh man, it must be so cool to like go overseas for production. But then it like dawned on me that like all of your productions have technically been overseas from home. Like, but did you have that like experience? Like, oh, I'm in the big time now. Like I'm going on a plane over to this other country to shoot this film and be on location for how long were you on set for?
For like a little less than 2 months.
That's crazy. All over there.
Yeah, all over. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
I gotta say, man, every single time I'm on a plane going somewhere to work, I fucking can't believe it. Like, oh, it makes me like emotional. Like, I can't believe like this is what I chose to do. Not just because like, you know, it's cool to obviously like be on a plane and go to a different country and all this stuff, but just like to do something I love, and something that is very questionable to a lot of like, you know, people as a profession, because it's a hard profession. Like, you know, that's, you know, I think a lot of professions are hard, and actors are also like, oh, it's me, so it's like harder. It must be harder than everybody else.
But what's
I don't believe in
particularly
that.
acting as a profession is the paper cut of like hurting yourself, because
Yeah.
you get a paper cut, it hurts like hell, but nobody appreciates
nobody-
how bad it hurts.
Yeah.
And acting is like, oh, your job's so easy. You know, I know what your life is like. No, you don't know how hard it is. That's like the hardest part about being an actor, is nobody actually understands that it's work. You're actually working.
It's been said and it's been proven that this career you hear no more than any other career in the world.
Yeah.
Which is why we speak in third person.
Yeah. That is such a genius way to describe like how hard it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, that's amazing. Like, yeah, it's definitely like, yeah, paper.
And I'd imagine like being in like when you're on location with the crew and the cast and everything, that when you guys are all like, you all came from over here, you're going over here and you're spending this time to shoot the movie, that is it more like a summer camp situation, like everybody is kind of together the whole time, or what's the vibe like on something like that?
I think it depends on the production. Like for American Gods, I also shot in Toronto.
Okay.
So, and then Freaky Friday was in Vancouver. So,
okay, so you've been everywhere.
Thank you. So, well, Canada shoots a lot of production, so I think a lot of TV shows are, you know, they have a production. I think like a stage.
Putting some miles on those feet. They're gonna go.
Yes.
I hope you're keeping good care of them for the. I don't want the rating to go down.
Truly, sometimes I'm a little worried. I'm like, did I not put enough lotion? You know what I mean? But yeah, no, it was great. I got really close to my castmates. It was a great, God, Ireland was so beautiful. Like everything about it was amazing. Like I wish, like, I mean, that was the reality. It was just so fun, like to be on a set that I fucking wanted to be there so bad. I was so excited to be there. People were inspiring. Elizabeth is fucking amazing. Like she's such a boss. Like, oh, it's so cool.
And you're speaking about Elizabeth Banks, of course. Mm-hmm. And I want to ask this. First of all, we're going to ask, what is it like to work with her? And what is it like to work, being a female, working with a female director, which we don't see all the time? And have you ever had any aspirations of directing?
She is so cool. Like she is so cool. And she is such a great director. Like she's just awesome. Like I love working with her. She knows what she wants, but she's also like freeing for the actor. Like, you know, she gives freedom to the actor, but also like knows what she wants. Like it's so like great. And she's nice. Like she's so nice and kind and funny and you know.
There are a lot of guys out there who think I'm a good catch. The words cute as a button have been thrown around on more than one occasion.
I mean, to be honest, luckily, I think all of the directors I've worked with have been very, very kind. Like, you know, I don't really particularly remember somebody who was like, oh my God, I can't, like, that was like so hard. I don't have that, thank God, because I know sometimes people have those stories, and I loved working with, you know, I love working with male directors too, but like, yeah, there is something about working with a female director and seeing how you can take charge of the room and still be kind and nice to people. And, you know, and she's an actress, so she knows how to direct actors. You know what I mean? That's the cool part about, I think, what you said about earlier. Like, I think she is definitely the epitome of that.
And
Yeah.
she gave you the freedom to try things as far as like in the scenes.
Yeah, she was like, I mean, you know, yeah, like there is the scene, and she knew what she wanted, but she was also like, yeah, try something. Like, you know, like, and if she had an idea, she would throw an idea. If I had an idea, I would throw an idea. Like, you know, and I felt like it was very collaborative, but also it didn't feel like, oh, like, what am I doing? Like, you know, sometimes when there's so much freedom, you're kind of like, oh, like, am I in the right, like, well, you know, am I doing, like, you know, that's why you need a director. And she was all of that, and which I so appreciated. And she was just such a boss, like so, yeah, I loved working with her.
It looks like the majority of your scenes are shared with the hilarious Scott Zeiss. And my introduction to him is, and I don't know if you've seen them, his stories that he does on Instagram where he's like the 9-to-5 worker, and
TikTok.
So hilarious. Yeah, I catch the Instagram reruns, the syndication.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's so genius.
Rage applying is the new quiet quitting. It's when you apply for a job that'll pay you more. What's wrong with that? You're just using the word rage to make it sound bad. Employees aren't clocking out to go to the bathroom in a new trend called Satan shitting. People are allowed to apply to other jobs. Oh no, you're right. You owe your undying loyalty to the company that's underpaying you because they let you have a potluck last week. I say click submit on as many LinkedIn applications as you want. No one's reading them anyway. I swear to God, we're gonna see articles in the future like young people aren't volunteering for the Hunger Games anymore thanks to a terrifying new TikTok phenomenon called wanting to live.
He's just one of those guys that, like, he just looks like he's naturally funny without, like, effortlessly funny. Well, do you have any stories from the set working with him?
I love Scott. I think Scott is, I mean, I'm sure, you know, he'll do interviews, and I'm sure people will know when you see him, you know, just normal chat, but he's just such a like normal guy. Like, I don't know how to explain. Like, he's so like kind, and he, you know, like sometimes you meet comedians and, you know, sometimes they're cynical, or they're like trying to make you laugh, or like, you know, you just get that. Or you meet an actor and they're like, you know, sometimes they're narcissistic, or like, including myself probably, you know, and he's just so chill. And
Yeah.
you know, so I loved working with him. And I honestly, like, I don't know a lot of people again, but I did see his TikTok before. Like, I think it was one about the vaccine, and you know, it's not like I watched all of his videos at that point, but he's hilarious. Like, he's so funny. And I think this is his first film set. Like,
Yeah.
you know, he's been doing stand-ups, and he's been doing stand-ups for a long time, and he's been doing TikTok, but this was his first film set, and he was fucking awesome. He's hilarious. Like, so cool.
Yeah, I watched an interview that he did with Joe Gatto from Impractical Jokers. For some reason, they did something where they were talking on like an Instagram live, and I was really surprised to find like he wasn't I expected everything to be a punchline. He just had a very normal conversation. It was very laid back. He's not too far removed from the 9-to-5 bits that he's doing. Like, that was reality for him. Like, so yeah, I'm sure he's extremely normal. Like, was there any mentoring going on, like, for the fact that you've been doing this for a while, you've been on a few film sets? Did you have any advice for him or anything like that?
I don't think so. I mean, it felt very much like I did definitely I was like, let's grab a drink before we like, shoot. So we get to know each other because we're gonna like work together. I think that was the only thing that we really like, I guess the formal meet and greet I kind of like suggested. And he kindly accepted and we like, talked about ourselves, which was like really nice. And yeah, on set, I think it was like very collaborative. Like, he's hilarious. Like, he doesn't have to try to be. I think he's just a naturally funny guy.
Yeah, and the
So
mustache is everything. The
yeah,
mustache really
truly like
ties it all together.
yeah, like I'm like, why am I even acting? You have a mustache.
Yeah,
It happens to
it
the
really is
best.
unfair.
Beth in the film.
I mean, I'm sure, you know, he'll do interviews and I'm sure people will know when you see him, you know, just normal chat, but he's just such a like normal guy. Like, I don't know how to explain. Like, he's so like kind, and he, you know, like sometimes you meet comedians and you know sometimes they're cynical or they're like trying to make you laugh, or like, you know, you just get that, or you meet an actor and they're like, you know, sometimes they're narcissistic, or like, including myself probably, you know, and he's just so chill. And
Yeah.
you know, so I loved working with him, and I honestly, like, I don't know a lot of people again, but I did see his TikTok before. Like, I think it was one about the vaccine, and you know, it's not like I watched all of his videos at that point, but he's hilarious. Like, he's so funny, and I think this is his first film set. Like,
Yeah.
you know, he's been doing stand-ups, and he's been doing stand-ups for a long time, and he's been doing TikTok, but this was his first film set, and he was fucking awesome. He's hilarious. Like, so cool.
Yeah, I watched an interview that he did with Joe Gatto from Impractical Jokers. For some reason, they did something where they were talking on like an Instagram live, and I was really surprised to find like he wasn't I expected everything to be a punchline. He just had a very normal conversation. It was very laid back. He's not too far removed from the 9 to 5 bits that he's doing. Like, that was reality for him. Like, so yeah, I'm sure he's extremely normal. Like, was there any mentoring going on, like, for the fact that you've been doing this for a while, you've been on a few film sets? Did you have any advice for him or anything like that?
I don't think so. I mean, it felt very much like, I did definitely I was like, let's grab a drink before we, like, you know, shoot, so we get to know each other, because we're gonna like work together. I think that was the only thing that we really, like, you know, I guess the formal meet and greet I kind of like suggested, and he kindly accepted, and we, like, you know, talked about ourselves, which was like really nice. And yeah, on set, I think it was like very collaborative. Like, you know, he's hilarious. Like, he doesn't have to try to be. I think he's just a naturally funny guy.
Yeah, and the
So
mustache is everything. The
yeah,
mustache really
truly, like,
ties it all together.
yeah, like, I'm like, why am I even acting? You have a mustache.
Yeah,
It happens to
it
the
really is
best.
unfair.
You brought up Instagram Live. Now I want to bring up. There's a photo on your Instagram. It's about 365 days since you guys have wrapped production on Cocaine Bear, of you and your co-star Jesse Tyler Ferguson. Now, was this press related? Was it more so personal, as far as just something you guys did candid? And did you guys get along working on this picture? What was it like?
Oh my God, no, it was just like a birthday party. And I just like, you know, and the other castmate is also in Cocaine Bear in the picture. His name is Aaron, and he's one of my dear, dear, dear friends. Like, we just became, like, after the film. I just saw him actually yesterday.
You just completely killed our story to media takeout at TMZ. We were like, this is such a hot relationship going. She's like, no, it's nothing. Just a birthday party. Next story. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was.
I don't think anybody's gonna believe that there is a hot relationship going on between her and Jesse Tyler Ferguson. I don't know if you've heard.
I don't know. I mean,
think,
I'm still aspiring for it. I'm still pushing.
Okay.
I don't think Jesse's accepting, but I am pushing.
Love is love.
Nothing against you, but yeah, I doubt he's accepting. I'm not speaking at a turn here, right? I'm correct.
Love is love is love.
Yeah, no. Google Jesse Tyler Ferguson after we're done.
I will.
Okay.
No, he's awesome. Like, I mean, Jesse is like, I geeked out because obviously, like, he's on Modern Family, and that was also like one of the first shows I saw since I moved to LA. Like, you know, I think Friends and like Will and Grace is kind of what I grew up on, and during Juilliard I kind of didn't really watch anything because I was in school, and then, like, you know, Modern Family was like so hot, but also Jesse's a big theater actor, and so I know him from, like, you know, Spelling Bee, the musical. Like, he's fucking brilliant. Like, he's a genius. And another person I freaked out on set was Margot.
That's inappropriate.
Margot Martindale, because she's a theater legend. Like, and she's a legend in all across, obviously. But like, for me, I was just like, I cannot believe I'm working with somebody who's this has
He's
this.
married to Cal on Modern Family, isn't he? He's married to Cal on the redhead.
You catching up to what I was putting
I'm
down
so
now?
mad at myself. I've seen every episode. You're right. He's awesome.
He's with us now.
I'm back.
We're all here.
Okay, we're
Got
here.
it. We all.
And Margot Martindale, that's a good segue because you actually are driving her around. It appears so, at least in like the coolest part of the whole trailer.
Beth, get higher, baby, and don't ever come down.
It's so fucking. It's epic. The bear is like slow-mo coming towards the ambulance, and you're behind the wheel. Scott and Margot are in the back. Can you talk about the logistics of shooting that? And I feel like that scene is gonna. If that's a little too close to spoiling something, like I don't want to know anything about the scene itself, but you know, just shooting that seems like a pretty intense scene.
It would. I mean, that's pretty much what I shot for 2 months. Like, I mean, because it's a lot of action. It's a lot of like, it's the bear doing stuff. It's like, you know, it's a lot of like moving parts. It takes, you know, going back to what you were saying about how long it takes. Like, I was like, wow, it does take a long time, you know?
Yeah. We going again? We back to one? All right, back to one.
Sorry, am I talking too much?
No, I'm just imagine how you're feeling on set. You're like, yeah, it was interesting how long it took. We're back to one again. Back.
No,
we're going again.
It did really take a long time. Yeah, but it was so fun. It's, you know, like I had really awesome 2 castmates, scene partners who were so hilarious and funny that it made me laugh during a lot of the shots, which I probably shouldn't have done, but it was so fun. And like, it's a make-believe, you know, you're pretending like you're driving a car, or I did actually drive an ambulance. I believe they shipped an ambulance to Ireland because it had to be in the 80s, and I drove that, and I am that stereotype. I don't like to promote it, but I do not drive well. So I think everybody in the car was very nervous.
I don't swim well. Don't feel bad.
So you are actually driving, and are there any scenes where there's stunt drivers used, or on a trailer or anything like that?
I think there was I did have a stunt, but I don't know. We like at some point I think the car was stopped, and it like, you know, they did the whole moving thing, looking like it moved. But I definitely did drive the ambulance. Like,
how scary was it to have a bear behind you while you're trying to act in this?
Don't ask me. I've never done it.
I'm playing ignorant here.
That's Jackie Moon.
I'm assuming that the bear is CGI, correct? There was no bear behind you, right?
No, there wasn't. There was an amazing actor who acted like a bear.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and who recreated, you know, and did the motion, but I don't really know how the motion capture works and all that. But yeah.
Now, one of the things I think is on the bucket list of most actors and actresses is to one day work with someone in the industry we feel is an icon or a legend. And even if it was just one moment, you got to work with the legendary Ray Liotta. This was his last role. Did you happen any opportunity to speak with him? And even if you didn't, what was it like to find out this was his last film and you were on the set of that production?
Oh God. Well, at that point I didn't know it was his last film. So
that would have been crazy if you did.
Yeah. So it was very exciting to have such a legend, you know, on the same film. Like, that's so exciting. And it's, you know, it's obviously like heartbreaking. I also saw him in I think the show Blackbird. Is that what it is called?
I think that's I think so.
Yeah, and he is so like amazing. Like, he's so fantastic in that show. Like, truly like yeah. So I didn't really get a chance to work with him because none of our, you know, we didn't overlap, and our shoot days also didn't overlap, so I didn't even really get to see him in the makeup trailer or anything. But it's an honor just to like know that we're in the same film.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, like people do that 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. There is 0 degrees between you and Ray Liotta.
I see what you did there.
Before we move on from Cocaine Bear, is there anything else about the production or any memory that stands out to you, or anything that you think fans that will come to love the film would like to know?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's a really fun film. I think it's so funny. Everybody's hilarious. I mean, I'm sure you can tell from the trailer, but it's like everybody's in it is iconic. Like they
It
do.
looks like it's just there to have a good time.
Yeah.
Is that the tone of the film? Like, is that
I think so. Like I think so. I mean, I don't want to speak for the whole film, but when I read it, I was like, fuck, this is like, I think I saw an interview that Elizabeth did, and it said putting comedy and horror. And that's what it is. Like it's and like truly like two of my favorite genres. Like
I'm
just
excited.
just a dream. Like what a dream. I still can't believe it. Like I just want to like everybody to know like I'm still having a moment. Like that I am in Cocaine Bear.
Huh.
Guys,
Hey, all right.
sorry about that, guys.
Hey, listen, when you got to blow, you got to go. All right,
Hey.
so we're back. We're gonna go ahead and end this thing.
First
here.
of all, thank you to Kahyun Kim for coming on.
Listen, she's never came off, but she will come on again. And listen, guys, really look her up, Google her. She has a lot of good things. Her Instagram, this film, she's into other, let's just say, choices out there. So hey,
Go to ratemyfeet.com or wikifeet.com.
and that is rate RATE.
No. It's wikifeet.com. Put in Kahyun Kim in the search and bump up her rating. We promise we get her from a 4 to a 5 on her foot rating. Yeah, Wikifeet.
Again, rate RATE.
And her full interview is going to go live this Thursday. There she is right there. That'll be this Thursday.
I love those faces.
We talked to her for about 90 minutes, and she was a whole hell of a lot of fun. You're not going to want to miss that, boys.
Shout out to all the grown women out there.
All right. So, what do you think of what Annie?
Are you okay?
I'm addressing Annie. I'm not forgetting Annie. Annie, what would you? I said her name like 17 times. Annie, what did you think of Cocaine Bear?
Overall,
Yeah, like what's your overall review? If for somebody that hasn't seen it, what would you say to them? Yeah, Tino Anthrax is demanding rate.
are we doing?
Is he saying rate?
Yeah, with a T.
Right now, then?
I don't like to fuck on camera. I take my career seriously, and it's my craft. So no.
Mhm.
Okay, so
1 through 5 lines.
1 through 5 lines.
That's a hell of a bump.
Serious. It's a
Bomb.
Anyway,
Stalin.
this movie for me, like am I rating it?
Please.
That's what we're doing.
Okay,
Please.
I'm rating it a 4.5 out of 5
Lines.
lines.
Why didn't you go all the way with 5? Why did you stop when you did that last nostril?
Yeah, what was
Because
the
I wanted to see more action with the bear.
Okay,
that's fair.
so
That's fair.
More action with
That's
the
fair.
bear.
More
But the
blood?
action, but see, there's still the little bit of taste that we got with the bear was just enough satisfying for me because it just kept me wanting more to watch the movie.
We saw a bear moonwalk, Annie, on
Is
his
it-
back.
That's so that big.
Is it a movie that you would rewatch over and over
Oh
again?
God, yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
perfect party movie. Bring people over, cut the sound off, and just let it happen.
It reminds me of some shit that we would have played on DVD back in the day.
That reminds
Or something
me
you
of-
would have stole from Hollywood Video. The case has never been solved. Toon, toon.
I'd watch it as many times as I've watched Goonies.
That's a horrible comparison, Annie,
Why?
because one's a classic and one's not.
Listen,
This will become a
I
classic.
Watch it as many
Cocaine as a
times-
drug is classic. I've never done it, but
I
it's
will
up there
watch
with
this
them.
movie as many
But
times as
come
I
on, now we
want.
said the Goonies. Come on, the
This
Goonies
movie is the
transcends.
I agree. I agree
Thanks,
with
I
you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Fuck off.
Thanks. Well,
Let's check these
whatever.
comments.
Better be pissed off.
James. Oh, Genesis is here.
Hey, baby girl.
I love how you
Finally.
guys are all matching.
How do I look in this light?
I'm
You do that
wearing
all the time.
I'm wearing Annie tonight.
Yeah.
I'm wearing Andy's Cameron.
Royal was
represent-
trying to have me wearing Royal, but you tried to get me in a V-neck. What are you doing?
He
I didn't know.
really
I knew you would
is.
find the crew. I knew you'd find the crew. I've been working out. I don't know about you. I'm about to turn 40, man. Come on, what
Why are
you
you
do?
so threatened by me that you're always trying
you got
to
some.
like,
You sick son of a
put
bitch.
me in shirts
You
that
got
are
some
too big,
threatened.
sneak me in a V-neck, a deep V.
Well, the colonizers are out on March 1st, are they not? They couldn't wait, couldn't they not?
9:38. That's
Okay.
it.
PM.
James said 4 out of 5.
Thanks, James.
If they had the budget, I feel like they could have gone crazier. Like
I don't think James.
2.
I don't think James' generation appreciates cocaine. They grew up popping pills and doing all this other weird shit. Like cocaine was really harsh. Just like
Are you not
letting
me finish his comment because you're so mad at him about the last episode?
First off, I'm not mad at the young man. He's a young savant trying to come up in the world. The only thing he's ever been wrong about is Ghostbusters 1 versus Ghostbusters 2.
He ain't even seen that movie.
So so he said, but as it was still an entertaining ride. Yeah. Yeah, 4 out of
Well,
5.
I'm pretty sure that's every review for cocaine in the world.
Right? Because you get up and then you do get tired. Like,
I wouldn't know,
Ann.
Ann.
When he said he was tired, I died laughing when he said that because it's like so right.
So you wanted to see more blood and guts. Is there anything else that you'd want to change?
I wouldn't have let the little cubs do the coke. I was cool with the little kids doing coke, but those little bears doing coke, I wasn't cool with it because they hadn't even had a chance to really live. They're already bears. That's high enough just being a bear. Like, oh shit, I'm a black bear.
Your favorite scene was when the children did cocaine, but you have a problem.
100% correct. But ask me why. You're right. You're right. Shit.
So no drugs for child bears, but
you know
children.
why? You know why? You know why? Because children saw George Floyd get murdered on TV. So seeing a bear
This
doing
was
cocaine.
the
Let me make one back. Let me say this.
George Floyd was still a baby, alive and well.
That's wrong. The Black History fact is this: is that the kids nowadays, they grew up with phones that allowed them to see stuff they shouldn't see. They saw a man get murdered on television. So for me to say it's okay for me to see kids do cocaine in a movie called Cocaine Bear, by comparison, doesn't even fucking compare.
Quick question.
Quick answer.
Quick question. I just need a little bit of clarification here. George Floyd died in when? Like what? 2019?
Correct. And when did this movie come out?
This movie took place.
I don't care about what it was based on. We just saw it. So these kids are just going to see it. So when you ask me about my favorite scene from a film that just came out this year that we just saw last night, we just saw kids do coke last night. So what I'm saying is they've normalized kids doing coke because I bet not see one fucking FCC complaining. If you better complain about that, you also better be complaining about George Floyd, or you're a fucking hypocrite. Happy Black History Year for you. Thanks, kids. That was not planned, by the way. Or should I say not planned? I know, Birth of a Nation. I know you're mad at me. Come get me. Gotta go one day. Welcome back, guys. We're back to the show. Kids, I hope your earmuffs are off now. Overall, Dave, what'd you get the film?
What'd you get the film?
I gave the film a 3, and I'll be honest with you. I gave it a strong 3 just because it took me back to the 80s. I wasn't a fan of the storyline because I knew the real story. That was my fault because I shouldn't have read. Had I not read the real story, I would have gave it a 4. But I did know about the real story before that, and I thought it was more entertaining. But I gave them a good. I think they did a really good job of adapting death into something that's watchable. So I give it a 3. That's all I can give it.
What were you wanting when you came to see this?
Murder, mayhem, Revenant, just funnier.
Check.
Not for me.
Where did it lose you?
It never lost me, just never had me.
You were on the edge of your seat.
You were laughing. You were gasping. You were what the fuck?
We were playing Mario Brothers. Do you not remember? Didn't everybody get a big up? Nah, man. I was trying to get out of there. That's how fast I was trying to get out of there. Whatever, man. Sarah, right? Tomato.
Shut up.
Vote for Pedro.
I don't know you, man.
I didn't know you when you told me. I didn't know you when you told me you fucking knew people from Delaware. And with that being said, what's coming up on TTFT, Dave?
I still got to give my review.
You already have.
Fuck down. STFT, man. Mr. Tony of the Dead said, "Hey everyone. Hey Tony, you came in just in time to watch us fucking sizzle out."
No, man.
Jesus. I give it. Look, Cocaine Bear. What else do you want?
I was cool with it. No, I gave him credit for that. I did like that. They kept it simple. They gave you what they promised.
Yes.
I got exactly what I wanted.
Exactly.
Right.
It was a fun ass ride. FAR. It was far out.
Far out.
Spell acronym.
Acronym?
I asked you to pronounce it. I said spell it.
ACRONIM.
Fart. It was a fart.
The myth of the white man has begun on March 1st, 2023. We will debate it.
I give Cocaine Bear 5 lines.
No way, man. No fucking way. No.
I do. I was gonna give it 4.5, but you came out with some bullshit 3.
I was in the middle and he was laughing.
Look,
I don't know where you were at, and I don't know what you were doing, but somebody had to adult last night and it was me. But I will let them say it. Okay, guys. I thought, put it this way. Would I watch it again? Yes. Would I?
Go ahead. Why do you give it a 5 out of 5?
I give it a 5 because if this were like a movie that were like Oscar bait, I would have a different set of expectations for it.
Yeah.
But it's a fucking movie called Cocaine Bear, and I got exactly what I wanted when I sat down in the theater. I was laughing, I was gasping, I was on the edge of my seat. I was having a good time, and they were having a good time with it. They had a bear on cocaine.
That was pretty funny. I'll give it that. So
How is that?
So under your theory,
It's going like this.
I'm going to tell you why. Because under your theory of keeping it simple, another movie that kept it simple was called Vampire in Brooklyn. And they kept it simple. And I give that a 5 out of 5. And so if you're asking me when people keep it simple, what's the bar? What's the mecca? This Vampire in Brooklyn. This Cocaine Bear doesn't even fucking compare. Yeah, it doesn't even compare. It's bad Coke. Diet Coke. Just not nasty Coke, man. RC.
I had a great time.
Well, I bet you did. Now that I do not deny.
I enjoyed the whole thing.
I bet you did. Subway, eat fresh.
Would you watch it again?
I'd do it again.
James says Cocaine Bear versus Winnie the Pooh 2025.
Oh, Winnie the Pooh. Bloods and guts. Bags. Acronyms.
See, that looks stupid. Looks like a cash grab.
Huh.
It looks like
Cocaine Bear is fun. You really went in looking for like a true to life biopic?
I wasn't going in to watch fucking Revenant. I'm just telling you that I wanted more of the fucking bear. I knew the real story.
You and her are on the same page. You guys both wanted more
Same
of the bear.
page, different
But
book,
see,
same
but now
crook.
I'm confused because back in the beginning of the episode, you said that one of the things you loved most about it was the fact that they didn't give us that much of the bear.
Right.
Do you agree with yourself at the beginning of the episode, or do you agree with yourself now?
And this is what Zsa Lepre infamously
hey girl.
yes. See, she hears these words and she sees your hair, she sees a little ring light, but I dig a little deeper. I see the layers and I go like Shrek. We're all onions. It's layers. And let me help you out
I'm just
really
trying
quick.
to let you know
What I'm trying to tell you, I wanted more of the bear, and I meant bear as in the animalistic version of it. I saw the bear. I didn't get the bear. I didn't want Winnie the Pooh. I wanted who the fuck just mauled me. And I was simply asking for a Superbad meets Revenant. Was that too much to F and ask? You gave me an R-rated movie, so when I gave it a 3, I gave it a 1.
Mr. Tony of the Dead says, I think I'm the only person alive that doesn't care if he sees Cocaine Bear. Tarantino says, no, you're not, Mr. Tony of the Dead. But actually,
Tarantino doesn't like movie. He does them, he doesn't like them.
That's what I was about to say. That means nothing coming from Tino because he doesn't.
He's a hell of a musician, film-wise.
I don't watch movies.
He don't watch. He do them. He don't watch them.
I thought it was more horror, but when I heard it was also a comedy, I loved. See, that's when I got when it gained my interest.
That's what grabs you.
Yeah.
Is the comedy.
Oh, good, Tino. I'm glad.
This is the one movie that does not deserve an elevator pitch. It's right there for you. Cocaine and Bear. Have fun, kids. Love it.
Yeah. All right. So, does anybody else have any fucking thing to say about it? I feel like I'm cleaned out.
I'm good. I'm good. I mean, I'm ready to go to rehab. What about you guys?
I need some more.
Hey, hey, smoke them if you got them.
All right, coming attractions. As promised, we have some. I don't even think I fucking promised it, but anyway, so we got big news. This is actually the last time that we're meeting here in Studio 83 as we know it. We're going to be taking a break to restructure and improve on some things with the show.
You thought Angela Lee leaving the Breakfast Club was bad.
We have exciting changes coming up. We're transitioning, everybody. We'll let you know what our pronouns
Speak
are.
for yourself, kid.
And we're also going to be working on a little film called Far From the Tree.
Hey, what are you doing? This isn't fucking Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. We don't need you to give us the answer. We know what the answers are. It's going to be great. She's coughing in the background. Like Jesus Christ.
So don't be confused, though. Don't go away. We won't be here, but we're still going to have content for you throughout March.
March Movie Madness, Dave.
Well, this Thursday, the full interview with Kahyun Kim is going to post. And then, yes, every Tuesday in March, we'll be doing March Movie Madness. On March 9th, there's going to be a brand new Emma Everywhere, which you're working on right now.
He just secretly looked at me to say, Royal, make sure you edit it.
Wink.
It's going to be several movies. It's going to be Disney Plus, as I like to call it, when the fat cats got fatter.
I take so much joy in knowing that you are.
I'll have it ready, man. Hey, why? Hey,
zombies and descendants and
hey, man,
what?
Young Box Cut in the building. So with that being said, I want to give a shout out to all the college kids, all the high school kids, all the middle school kids, all the at-home kids. And no, can I? It's weird when you don't let me effing finish. Thank you. For every kid and boy and girl out there who wants to do film, you're living in such a great time. When we grew up, we didn't have YouTube. We didn't have DSLR.
glad.
Are you? I'm so happy. I feel happy. We didn't have access to ADR things and things of that nature. So you have this. So really, if you're not doing shit with your life and you're a kid and you're 9 right now, you're fucking bum. Do something. And with that being said, if we weren't going to get counsel now, now's the time. Dave, take us away.
Yeah.